Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Total Biscuit. Jumping puzzles in my MMO, it's more likely than you think. This is, in fact, a jumping puzzle that is available within the game. There are more than one of these, and they can be rather difficult. At times, unpleasant things will happen to you. Like when you get impaled on spikes. Yeah, probably best not to do that. Bit of failure there. Let's give that one another try, shall we? Now, according to Frank, this was quite difficult. I don't know if I believe him or not. He may have just been lying due to his own incompetence. But there are ways and means around it. You don't have to impale yourself on spikes, but you have the choice. It's a role-playing game. If you so desire, you can role-play the hapless victim. Or the giant bouncing cow. Both of these work. That's okay. Come on! We could have him impaled, then we can get a nice char kebab. That sounds reasonable. Alright. Let's try going this way, shall we? A quick hop, skip, and a jump. And yes, it does deliberately make the screen shake, just to make things a little bit trickier. And of course, you can fall very easily to your death at this point. They do not give you handrails in this... Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, mostly like that. I don't trust that deer. God knows what it could be part of the trap. No, he didn't cheat. We just stood there for 4 minutes waiting for him to run back and then edited it into the video to make it look like he's an evil, stinking cheater. We bypassed the deer without any real concern whatsoever. Now, there are a lot of different secrets in Guild Wars 2, and these are what they are basically called. Secrets, they include a wide variety of different things, including puzzles and riddles and so on and so forth. No doubt they'll all eventually be decoded and posted on a wiki, so no one actually has to think, but it's nice that they're there nonetheless. You see, that bit, honestly, just looks like trying to explore in World of Warcraft. It's not obvious that you have to go in this direction, but you do. So down you go, and oh, wonderful, it's covered in flames. Oh, fantastic. Just what I always wanted. I would imagine you can probably dodge under this, or run. Any kind of ability you've got which will give you a speed increase would be useful to get past this area. But you might want to be a little bit careful, nonetheless. Alright, send the cow in first. Then at least we can have some well-done steak. Now, dodge will not allow you to not take the damage, by the way, under here. You can use it, but running makes more sense. I love laughing at Frank's misfortune.
This is getting serious.
Just a bit. I'm on fire! This is brilliant. I love it. Let's try that one again, shall we? This is a fairly low-level jumping puzzle area, which can be found in the Char starting zone. There are, as I said, a wide variety of them. Let's give it another dash. Right through the... Noobs! We'll skip past that, shall we? Yes, that sounds reasonable. There we go. Now, you might wonder, why are you putting yourself through so much torment? Well, the reason for it is that these hidden events throughout the world are, for one, hidden, which would indicate that they're hiding something quite tasty. And to some degree, they are. In this case, what you're going to see towards the end is a boss and some loot that is available as a result. This is not tied into a quest. This is something that you just find within the world. You're not going to be pointed there. You're not going to be led by the nose. Perhaps there are some clues to indicate where it is, but in this case, no, it's pretty much a case of you better find this yourself. And no doubt, once it's all listed on a wiki or whatever, you'll have a lot of people doing this. But what they've done is they have sort of gated the boss behind a wall of difficulty, which is not associated with killing stuff. It's associated with not dying horribly. Now, evidently, Frank is a little bit of a coward, and is refusing to go down there to res his mooey little friend. How unfortunate for him. But it's okay, he can get back on his feet. And then get flattened again by rocks. That sounds like an idea. This is a rather brutal little area. Interestingly enough, as I said, in a starting zone. It's cool because if you're feeling like a challenge, you can go off the beaten track and find something like this. Now, Frank was telling me that all in all, this entire area actually took them close to 2 hours to get through. I don't know how much he's exaggerating there, but whatever the case. Alright. I think it's about time we leap directly into a waterfall, because that sounds really sensible, right? Ooh, that was a little bit close, I've got to say. Now, this is not where you're going to see underwater combat, but you will notice the UI changing when you actually go into the water there, which can be a little bit annoying if you're jumping in and out. It's like, oh, well, the bottom of your screen is going to be covered in blue goop. Enjoy that. But you will see underwater combat in an upcoming video. More to the point, what we're looking to do here is to try and find some other kinds of combat. An event has triggered. We have to kill the Shadow Skelk Matriarch, who is right here. So let's slice our way through. She's actually quite a few levels ahead of us, so this might be a little bit stressful. This is a Guardian, if you hadn't already guessed. You've seen a Guardian before. We're using a Scepter and a Focus here, which is a curious combination because it is a magical weapon in terms of the Scepter. It's kind of a single target binding weapon. And then a Focus is curiously kind of like a magical shield of sorts and allows you to do a wide variety of different things. It's a good balanced little build. It provides both offensive and defensive abilities. It's not really all out in either respect, and a good amount of conditions that you can actually apply to your opponent, including a nasty blind, but you can also use defensive abilities there as well. So you're also noticing that we're switching abilities. I believe we're using a mace and a shield here. Switching between weapon sets is very standard in Guild Wars 2, and you will be expected to do it. It will be required in order to optimize your role and actually perform it as best as you can. She keeps disappearing every now and again. This is probably a beta thing, honestly. I think they're just going to have to improve the particle effects surrounding that, because the vanishing, it kind of looks like it bugs out, really, and there's no visual feedback or indeed oral feedback which will tell you what's going on there. So it's like, why is it just vanishing? What's going on? But no, that's, once again, beta is beta, as is to be expected. Now, hopefully, eventually you can bring this fellow down. She's already doing quite a bit of damage to our Char right there, who is, I believe, a Char warrior by the looks of it, using an axe and a sword in that particular setup. Now, Mrs. Shadow Skelk is about to go down, and that's really what you're in here for, to find this particular boss. You get the event. You can only activate the event if you get in there, and we got an item from that, as well as, of course, the usual karma, coin, and experience. As to whether or not you'll want to bother, well, that really is up to you. I don't think this is the optimal way of doing things, but I think that if you're playing Guild Wars optimally and not actually exploring the landscape, then perhaps you're doing it wrong, because unlike certain other MMOs, it really is a case of being able to find new and crazy things if you look hard enough, which to me seems kind of neat, doesn't it? There's always the time when you start a new MMO when it feels like you're exploring a brand new world, and then everything gets mapped out and it becomes a case of, well, what's the most optimal way to level up? And Guild Wars 2 doesn't seem to really be like that, and I hope that it doesn't get there, but it probably will at some point. There's going to be an element of that. There's always an element of power gaming. You can't really blame people for doing that, but you should be looking out for stuff like this when you play the game, because you might find something kind of cool. And they have quite a few of these in the game. Apparently, they were originally not going to put so many in, but it turned out to be such a good idea in their estimations that they decided to put in an awful lot more of these kind of secret hidden areas with jumping puzzles and riddles and all sorts of stuff like that. So there you go, an example of off the beaten track in Guild Wars 2, part of the Char starting area. My name's been TotalBiscuit, and I will see you next time.